Yo, people, what is good? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you've had a good week. Time for the weekend, boy. And it's time to talk about the big game this weekend. It's another London derby for Spurs. And this time around, we are up against the 7. Super team.
This guy from
Duper team. Do you know why I call them the 7? Have you watched The Boys?
I haven't actually watched it no.
Okay, so if you've watched The Boys, the 7 is the name of basically the Avengers. The Avengers in the show, they're called the 7, right? And I call you lot the 7 because that is a super team if I have ever seen one. 110 million pound midfielders, 100 million pound wingers, yeah, 70 million pound goalkeepers. Shit, man. How are you, bro? Talk to me. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I was just letting you reel off the money team. Do you know what I'm saying? TMT, the money team. Do you know what I mean? Money team, money man, Floyd Mayweather in the building, this first 11. But unfortunately, money can't buy happiness. And that's what they've also said with Floyd. Do you know what I'm saying? They've said it to him many times. And I'm seeing it with my own eyes at Chelsea, man. We can't buy a win, literally, bro. You know how the saying goes. And as much as you want to play, I don't know what you're trying to do. If you're trying to play your team down, or you're trying to big us up, but you're a football man. You've been watching us perform, so there's no way you can say that you don't have some confidence. You can talk about you must as much as you want to, but
No, but I'm saying that you must for both of us. I'm saying
okay, fair enough.
I'm saying you must for both of us. The reason why I called this stream "You Must" is clear as day, right? Both teams must do certain things this season. Spurs must finish in the top 4. Chelsea, it is a bare minimum that this super team, this chemically enhanced, superior super team, yeah, with all the financial doping in the world, it is imperative that this super team finish in the top 4. If I'm saying it's a failure if Spurs don't finish in the top 4, what the hell must that mean for this super team in Chelsea?
Do you know what, though? I feel like every year it would be a failure if Liverpool, if Chelsea, if Tottenham, if Man United, if Arsenal, if City don't make it. But there's only 4 spaces.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
When we go to money spend, so then when you go to money spend, we should be in there, City should be in there, United should be in there, and then one other between yourselves. But like I said, money don't buy happiness.
Why are you saying between yourselves? Between ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about between yourselves in terms of you,
Arsenal and Liverpool.
You, Arsenal and Liverpool.
Don't run from the grind. Don't run from the grind.
I just say I don't know what you guys' net spend is, so I just put you all together because But Arsenal, Arsenal spend more than you and Liverpool. I'd say probably on the whole in recent years, maybe.
In recent years, Arsenal have outspent Spurs, but it's not been by much. It's been maybe like 30, 40 million, right?
Yeah. But I know we must, but you must also win, because you've never beaten us at your stadium. So when are you guys?
Absolutely.
So yeah,
absolutely. Listen. Don't get it twisted. I'm putting pressure on both Spurs and Chelsea, but you have been running away from the allegations. You've been running away from these allegations for a couple of weeks now. I saw you on DR Sports when the signings are coming in. I saw that flipping preview you did where you came in with the suit and the hat. Bruh, man. You're literally walking around like Money Mayweather. Now when it's time to put some expectation on this super team, you don't want any of it.
Yeah, I have expectations. I don't think my expectations are as high as yours. I tried to find a middle ground because we're crap. We're playing, we're crap at the moment. We're playing, in a manner that doesn't demand wins. I mean, yeah, we're creating chances and XG and all this, but at the end of the day, we're not playing well consistently throughout the 90 minutes. Against West Ham, we had a good half an hour. Dortmund, we had a good, spell, but we're not seeing it through the whole game. So it's not like we're absolutely destroying teams and we're just so unlucky and we're just like getting robbed left, right, and center. Yeah, there was a handball in the West Ham game, but again, it's not like we're absolutely peppering teams. And we're just outright, clear as day. So I'm trying to take what I'm watching, and also the manager who is up for question, and rightly so. You said it. I think you was as harsh as anyone on the Big Six as listen. Yes, we get the context, but you have to win some football matches, and I agree with you. You can't just lose every game or draw every game with this amount of quality and say, oh, well, you know, there's context for it. There's context for everything. But, you know, it doesn't matter. You have to win some games. So for me, I'm trying to take what I've seen and apply it to your expectations, which is fourth, right? And a lot of people's. It's not even just you. I'm not even going to do you like that. Everybody would say with the points gap of like 10 and halfway through the season to go, and you know all these players. But I did say to you that these players have to be integrated, and I don't think all of them are the finished article, no matter how much they cost. Anthony cost a lot of money. He's not the finished article. Mudryk cost a lot of money. He's not the finished article. People are buying on potential. So I'm trying to bring it into the middle ground, which is for me minimum top 6. And if you can have, you know, a run at top 4, then go for it. But that's me trying to come to a middle ground, because we're just
there's
not,
no middle ground. There's no
middle
ground.
I know there's not, because you hate Chelsea.
Let me tell you what needs to be done, right? Let me tell you what needs to be done. And I don't know how it's going to happen. Like you said, someone's going to have to miss out, but with the way you guys are playing now, right? Spurs haven't had a better opportunity to beat you at our ground in recent years. Since we've moved to that ground, like you said, it's been really bad. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on the Big Six yesterday. We've lost every single game we've played there, apart from one. And that was a League Cup 1-1 draw, right? And we won that game on penalties. Yeah. Beyond that, we have lost every single game. Now, granted, we have not been good. We've actually been quite shit in recent months. Really, really shit in recent months. But we are the home side. Yeah. We are the home side. We are up against a team that have only scored 1 goal in the entire month. We need to be coming out of this with something. We need to be coming out of this match with something. We need to be coming out of it with a win. I don't know. Yesterday on the Big Six, I went for a draw. I'll let you know whether my opinion is still the same before the end of the stream. But in terms of what Spurs should be doing, we should be looking to win this game. We should be looking to win this game. I saw Nottingham Forest put the fear of God into your team and probably should have beaten you at their ground, right? Like you said, when I watched this Chelsea team, I watched most of the second half against Dortmund, and I said, you know what? It happens. If you play like this most weeks, you'll probably pick up points. I watched your game. Who did you play before Dortmund? I can't remember who it was you played for. West Ham. I watched you first half, most of the second half, and I said, you know what? If you play like you did for 35 minutes of the first half or 30 odd minutes, you'll probably win. You win games most week. But one thing you mentioned to me, which is facts, is that these are fleeting moments, right? I'm not seeing a sustained performance of 90 minutes where you're keeping the opposition at bay and you're creating chances consistently, right? I don't know what it is, whether it's Potter's tactics, whether it's players not playing well enough, but I feel like you guys, even though you're not conceding that many goals, you don't really put enough in the performance to win convincingly. And I feel like you always keep the door ajar for teams to come back into the game. That's because
we can't take chances. Can't take any chances, bro. This team has been struggling to score goals for years. And then on top of that, now we've kind of jiggled and adjusted our whole attack. It's creating chances, or at least I can see more creativity potentially in that team. And it should have much more. But if you look at the players that have been acquired, like your Mudryks, your Maduekis, your Felixes, none of them are like reliable goal scorers, but they should all be chipping in. Same way Arsenal kind of had, you know, no one said Saka was really a goal scorer until he brought that to his game. That's coaching. That's improvement. He's chipping in. Martinelli was always maybe more of a potential striker, but then he's chipping in as well. You know, Jesus, Odegaard, everybody chips in and then everything will be all right. But the problem is nobody's chipping in right now. So it's up to the coach to see the young players in Madueke and Mudryk and, you know, and actually say, right, and Felix must, please. I've got Felix's name on the back of my shirt already. I don't give a damn. I'm shameless. Felix must. I've put too much faith and stock in Felix. Not even at Chelsea, just period. I've always rated this guy since Benfica. Enzo as well, I put a lot of stock in. But Enzo's deeper in the midfield, so I'm not expecting loads of goals. But Felix must. I think Felix is the kind of player that you could potentially build teams around if he shows the levels that he should be showing. I know he's had his traumatized, you know, Simeone syndrome situation at Atletico, but you're out of that now. Do you know what I mean? You've been taken out. You've been put into a new environment. It's probably just as much as chaos and chaotic as the old one, but it's different. He seems to enjoy it. He's getting a song sung for him and whatnot. So, you know, now the output's got to come. I think he's the only one that scored against West Ham. He's the only one that scored this month, brother. I've only celebrated 1 goal. You're asking me for points. I'm asking for goals, bro. I've only celebrated 1 goal.
I'm not just asking for points. I'm asking for top 4.
You see, you're doing too much.
I'm asking for top 4. I'm asking for number 3. I'm asking for many things, bruh.
Number 3. Did you see Real Madrid? And you're talking about number 3.
I'm asking for number 3, brother, because this super team, this spend, it's unprecedented. It must.
You can ask. You're not going to get
unprecedented results, Matisse. It must yield unprecedented results.
Was it like this in your household at Christmas? Yeah, you can ask mum for PlayStation 5, Xbox 360. Doesn't matter. You're not getting it. You can ask if you want. You can ask.
Yes, you can ask, but
you're not getting it.
At the time, when my parents had the money to buy me things, they bought me things, right?
That's probably because you behave yourself. But Chelsea are not behaving themselves.
You wanted the PlayStation 5, you wanted an Xbox, you wanted VR, you wanted a Tesla, you wanted
Nintendo,
a private jet. You got all of it. You got everything you wanted and more. So now you better deliver. Yeah, you better deliver. Them Cowboys, the London Cowboys over there, the west side of London, they better deliver. But you know what? Yeah. Before we actually get into the game, let's talk about the managers, right? Because funnily enough, when I was doing the thumbnail for this, apologies on that, by the way, because I don't have my proper laptop working, right? But the thumbnail that I put out was the photo of Conte and
I saw that,
Tuchel arguing, right? Back in the 2-2 draw. Now, it's mad that from that game, both managers are now not going to be in the dugout. One was sacked maybe 2 or 3 weeks later. The other has some issues with his gallbladder, but for all intents and purposes, he's probably not going to be here in a couple months' time, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that as a Chelsea fan, especially when you look at Graham Potter? And I want to get your thoughts on Graham Potter's comments today, because I don't know, man. I felt like today, I'm sure you've seen his press conference.
I actually didn't. So because I was doing other things with DR, I actually haven't gone through the press conference quotes yet. So I'm going to be doing it actually after this stream. But I haven't gone through it yet. But
So basically, so one part of it was actually quite funny, right? So he made a joke because he came in late. He made a joke about he was late from Crisis Talks.
Kind of funny, jokes.
I'd understand if your fans didn't really appreciate those comments. But second of all, he said something about how he spoke to a lot of your senior players and they said that it was one of the worst ever preseason preparations that they've had under Thomas Tuchel. And then he basically said, but I'm not trying to point the finger at anyone, but for whatever reason, for a multitude of reasons, a lot of the players said that this was their worst preseason ever. So
I've seen that on the TL. I mean, the preseason.
Do you not feel like he's dragging? Do you not feel like he's trying to drag Thomas Tuchel's name in the mud a little bit to take away the attention from him? I don't know.
If he did that, best believe, more than you can believe, everybody would switch. Everybody would switch on his ass. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's about Tuchel. I think it's about. I remember that preseason and it was bad. And it was mainly because of all the traveling. We went to different cities. We went to Charlotte. We went to Vegas or Los Angeles. Sorry, we went loads of places. And because the new American owners had just come in, they wanted to show pony, their club and their new purchase around America. The Dodgers stadiums, all the pictures being taken for all the new signings, and it was a bit chaotic. And then on top of that as well, there was a lot of players involved in the squad, training and playing matches that then would not end up staying and were sold. Whether it was Marcus Alonso, whoever, and then there was minutes not accumulated for players that actually probably ended up being here. So it was a mess. It was a bad preseason, and I hope they don't do that again. There's no problem going to America, but at least stay in 1 or 2 cities close by. Don't be traveling West Coast to East Coast to West Coast. Because now you're spending more time in the plane than you are either resting and recuperating or in the training. So it wasn't a good preseason. It wasn't good. I remember watching it. We lost to Arsenal. Do you remember we got absolutely slapped up by Arsenal? Terrible, bro.
You got blamed.
We didn't win a game actually in preseason. I think we got slapped up most times.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez. But so okay, that's actually fair enough. So that is actually a logical explanation to to what Graham Potter was saying, but it just sounded like he was sneak this in top of Tuchel a little bit.
I don't think he would dare. I don't think.
But
he would dare.
but yeah, but just generally, give me your thoughts on the whole Tuchel Potter situation now, right? Because we've spoken on the Big Six about it. Surely something's got to give with Graham Potter. The same way that you were speaking to me about Conte and how he was faltering, right? Graham Potter, he can't hide behind the up-and-coming manager or I've only been in this job for like, surely the time he's been in the job with the money that's been spent, you need to be seeing better than you've seen, surely.
I think for me, Potter, when you make 9 additions or whatever it is, 8, 7, 9 additions in January, I understand the context of, yes, the money gun, yes, the top hat, yes, the hype. But that integration in mid-season competition is going to be difficult. Usually when you do that in the summer, you get your pre-season games, etc. That's going to be difficult. On top of that, you got 34 players to deal with and integrate and keep happy. And there's already leaks coming out, which is understandable. I expected it. I knew it was coming. So at the beginning, first, few games, 4 or 5, I'm expecting it to be difficult. But the longer it goes on, that he doesn't get this team pulling in the right direction and getting points on the board, it becomes maybe 10% him, 20% him, and then 30, 40, and it just keeps going up and up towards the end of the season. The longer the season goes on in this manner, the more it becomes his problem and his fault, because you've got to show improvement, you've got to show progression, and you have to win games. You can't just keep losing and drawing and saying our XG. And yeah, I agree, some games we were better and we should have won, but we didn't. And this is a business. This is a business, this is a results business. At the end of the day, you have to get wins on the board. You can't just... If we had been sitting here saying out of the last 15 games, Chelsea had won 7, drawn 3 or 4 and lost the others, or even won 5 of them and drawn 5 and lost 5, it would still be poor. But to win 2 out of the last 15, it's just that you can't legislate for that. That's relegation form. That's something
genuinely relegation form. I saw the table. They showed the table. If Chelsea hadn't had some of the points you picked up earlier on in the season under Tuchel, and you lot, it would have put you lot in like 15th spot.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely nuts.
If you do that at a team with all of the context of not having the quality and the investment and the backing, like, say a Bournemouth or whatever, just for example, if they're on that kind of run, managers in trouble. managers up for scrutiny. So if they have all their context, then we definitely can't be out here just relying upon that. So he has to win games. For me, Southampton was the game where it was like, whoa, now we're really taking the piss here. So I'm pretty numb to it now. I'm not gonna lie. I've been slapped up after that Southampton game. Nothing can really hit me as hard as that. But his job, I don't go around screaming Potter out, because I don't believe that it's all his fault, in terms of, I don't want to give 100% blame. I think the ownership have to take responsibility. The players have to take responsibility. It's a team effort. We're 10th as a team. Everybody gets in on the act here. But I also think that, as much as I've lost a lot of faith in him over the last weekend, because I couldn't believe that he lost that. Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, it's mad. I couldn't. But yeah, exactly. But apparently there's an exit clause or some sort of termination clause in his contract.
Exit clause hype, man. Yeah. There's no way on earth.
I don't know.
There's no way on earth they brought this guy, his brother, his uncle, the flipping sports analyst, data analyst, recruit, all of this stuff. There's no way they brought all of it just to scrap the man that had sent around.
That's the thing. They can't do it, bro. You know how stupid you look if you sack an elite manager like Tuchel, who, to be fair, on the Big Six, you was one of the few people that was actually not on his neck all the time, saying, "Oh yeah, if we just switch to a back 4, our attack will be fixed." It was
a scandalous decision to sack.
We can't coach an attack. Like, bro, come on, man. Do you know what I mean? It's not as easy now. It's not easy. Do you know what I mean? Now the people's favorite, the country's favorite, the New England manager, the guy that everybody was lining up as the next top dog. Now he's in. It's not so easy to coach an attack, is it? On a tight stand, against low blocks. It's nice against Brighton when teams open up a bit more because they want to come at you. Now you do it at Chelsea where everybody's sitting back in a low block on a tight Stamford Bridge pitch. It ain't easy. So, I always knew that we were downgrading in terms of the quality of the manager, because this manager's nowhere near Tuchel and he hasn't accomplished anything like that. but it was always meant to be, okay, ownership are getting their own man in that they can collaborate with and work with and play a certain way of football and, youth development and long-term vision, all this stuff. And for me, if they were to sack him, they would look stupid. They would look like clowns, because now you've sacked 2 managers on the back of 2 transfer windows. You're massively up for question on your just decision making in general and steering the ship. You're basically sinking it. Yeah. So for me, I think his job could become untenable if he continues this run for 5 more games. Where will we be? We'll be in the bottom half and just outside the relegation zone. Whether people think that it's a possibility of relegation or not, which is, it would be ridiculous. Of course, it's highly unlikely. 99% sure we're not going to do it, but we should not even be in the conversation. Just, if Chelsea were to finish on 48 points and they were to finish in 14th or 13th or 12th, that's horrendous. Do you know what I mean? That is horrendous. So surviving is not enough. Do you know what I mean?
You must finish top 4. You must. But anyway, let's move on from Potter and let's talk Conte a little bit before we actually get onto the game, man. Because obviously he's not going to be in the dugout. Stellini's going to be in the dugout, right? Big up Grizz in the chat. He must have finished. He must have finished. Rival. What's the name of the show he was doing with Saeed just now?
What is it? Rivals Talk. Rivals Watch.
Rival Talk.
That's it.
Yeah. So he just finished that with Saeed now. So I was in there probably 15 minutes before we started our stream. But bruh, they're calling it the pigeon chest derby. Saeed's definitely sent a couple people to this.
He has.
You know what, Saeed, and for all of you lot that are in here as well, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to Matisse's channel as well. Just do all of that, yeah. But Saeed, listen. I ain't even going to hate player because I ain't going to hate, yeah? You are flying high. You're doing your thing now. Man United are storming, fair enough. Times are great right now. But I want you to remember this feeling, yeah? Remember this feeling. Remember everything you're saying, because if this does not end positively this season, we shall be back. Speak soon, yeah? Speak soon, brother, yeah? Speak soon. But anyway, let's talk on Spurs, man, because Stellini's going to be in the dugout, right?
Yeah.
Stellini's going to be in the dugout. Conte, fair to say he's done a crap job with Spurs on the whole this season when you compare it to what you were expecting, right? But the difference between us and you is we are actually in 4th right now, and we have a much better chance of finishing 4th than you do.
Infinitely better chance.
It doesn't matter whether it's infinite. You must, don't forget about it. You must.
As damn emphatically better chance.
But yeah, what do you make?
What make of it?
What do you make of the Conte situation now? And do you expect a different Spurs with Stellini on Sunday?
Do you know what? I mean, it's 2 for 2, isn't it? Without Conte,
3 for 3 actually.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, then, I'm expecting. I don't really know what to expect, because, to be honest, when Conte's been in charge, I've been disappointed. The first thing I expected from a Tottenham team in Conte's image is a very strong defense, and then maybe more pragmatic and less style, and then results. And a winning mentality and a big dog, attitude, and trying to snag a trophy, and that's about it. Now, what I have seen is a leaky defense, the worst defense in the top 10 last time I checked. I don't know if statistically that's still the case, but one of the worst.
From me.
No, I didn't, brother. I looked at the table and I couldn't believe it.
You took that stat from me, but
no, bro, I didn't. I would never. Copyright strikes and all that. I would never do it. But do you know what it is? I feel like it's funny because the team is your star players are up front, and your problems are your defense in terms of individual quality. So it's kind of like complete opposite of the way that his team, as I just described, would kind of be structured. He would usually make sure his Italian stallions, trusted lieutenants, are at the back and dealing with business. And then if you can snag a little, couple goals here and there on the counter, get it done. But with this guy, I'm not sure what to expect. I don't know how he's going to set up. I just know that you guys with the record you have against us at home, this is your biggest. Yeah, this is your biggest opportunity, because I know defensively we've been a lot tighter, which we have, but you've got one of the best strikers on the planet in Harry Kane up there, and you know. This guy only needs a snapshot. You know how it is. You know what I mean? He only needs a snapshot, a little opportunity, and then next thing you know, bang, he's taking it. So Son off the bench, statistically scoring. Maybe I think he should stay on the bench and keep coming on. If the way he's moving seems like off the bench, he seems to be a bit more of a super sub. I know Kulusevski had an injury. He still hasn't quite come back from that. Not seeing too much of your new signing. I don't know where it probably get a chance against Sheffield in the Cup. Yeah, Danjuma. Richarlison still needs a goal. He really, really needs a goal. I would not be surprised if he decides this is the game to do it, because I'm pretty sure Richarlison at Everton at Goodison Park has scored against Chelsea quite a few times. Yeah. So I'm watching that guy. I got my eyes on him. But then everything from that point onwards, I'm not worried about. Like your midfield, no Bentancur, that's a big blow. I'm not worried about your midfield. Enzo and whoever partners him should be able to dominate that. The wing backs, I know Emerson Royale is in good form, but I'm never going to really worry about him. Pedro Porro is probably not going to start. He's in great form though. He is.
He might fuck around and lock up Mudryk, Listen. I'm not gonna shit on Mudryk too much, because I ain't really watched. I think outside the West Ham game and the Fulham game, I've not really been watching his performances like that.
I think people are getting onto him very early, but I get it. Agendas must run.
It's the price, man. I'm hearing people are calling him Midryk.
Yeah, Mudryk. Yeah, I get it. The agendas are gonna run. At the end of the day, like we took him off Arsenal at the last moment, so that whole fan base is onto him. Man United are trying to deflect, because obviously they've spent big money on Sancho and Anthony, so they're going to deflect with something with Mudryk, so they need something to go at. So it's cool. Liverpool, Nunes, same thing, so it's fine. I have no problem with it. Agendas have to agenda. This is what we do.
Agenda have to run, yeah.
Yeah. Right, but for me, to finalize, your strongest point is your attack. Our strongest point is our defense. That's got something's got to give. Same thing on the other side. We can't go forward, and you can't defend. So something's got to give. So we'll see what happens.
The thing is, our defense is so bad that it will make your attack look good. I promise you. Yeah,
our attack is so bad it will make your defense look good.
yeah, I agree. Yeah. Well, I don't agree, to be fair. Our defense is infinitely worse than your attack. I can tell you that for free, right? I can tell you that for free. But we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. Oh, yeah, you're more in the mud, no, you're more in the mud. We're not going to do that. Yeah. We actually need to remember that this is actually I was about to say North. This is actually a London derby, right? And this is a fierce rivalry.
Yeah.
Best believe I will be fuming if Spurs lose to Chelsea, right?
Same.
I wouldn't be entirely shocked. I would not be shocked in the slightest, because of how bad we go. But I will be fuming. I shall not accept a loss against this super team. Yeah.
And I accept
a loss against the super team. I'm sorry. What I've seen this season, why? It can't. Why? I'm tired of Spurs. In Spurs, in the Tottenham world, we've got this thing called Dr. Tottenham, right? And basically, what it represents is when a team are down in the dumps and they need a pick me up. They need someone to take points off, or they need like a morale boosting victory. In comes Spurs, Leicester. Man United, Liverpool, the list goes on. Like Nottingham Forest in the Cup, there's a thing. So it's been going for ages and ages and ages, and I really don't give a shit about Dr. Tottenham this weekend. Do not let yourself leave this ground on Sunday with anything less than a point. Yeah, I'll even take a point. As mad as it is, I want to win, but I'll even take a point. Do not lose.
I'm surprised you take a point.
Lose. I want to win. But
I know you do. I know, but I'm surprised you would take a point.
Worst case scenario, I'll take a point, right? I do not want to see.
I thought you'd be very.
If we lose to a team that scored one goal all month, I will be fuming.
Yeah. So I'm the same.
We must win, but I'll take a point.
I'm the same. I mean, I wouldn't take a point, because every single game we have to win. A point doesn't do anything for me. If we draw this game, it doesn't change my life in the slightest. I move on. Do you know what I mean? I I won't even remember anything the next day. I'll move on swiftly. We need to win. Every game is a must win. I say when you lose at home to Southampton, you owe us points at that point. We're minus. We're in the red. And I could say that multiple times because we're 10th. So all of these games where we've dropped points where we shouldn't have, you are in the red. You owe us points. You're in the red. You're in the minus. So we have to win the game. You can't lose games like Southampton at home and then say, oh, it's too difficult to go to Tottenham and win. Bearing in mind, completely different context, but this Chelsea team slapped up Tottenham 3 times in 2 weeks under Tuchel. We had your number. We had your address. We had your bank details. We had your sort code account, everything. We had the whole lot. So to see the fall from grace, and I know there's the context of the change of ownership and the change of players and everything, yes. But let's not forget, when Chelsea had sanctions under Tuchel, and this is what I talk about with managers managing, the definition of management. You need to be able to show that you can handle situations that are not going for you and act accordingly. Because when Tuchel was going through the sanctions and we were getting buses to Middlesbrough and we were getting our Barclays card was frozen and we couldn't tap it and and we were going to get liquidated and it was long and people were getting sacked and fired left, right and center and they couldn't even open up the megastore. We were still picking up points and he could have made all the excuses in the world at that point to say, oh yeah, we can't pick up points because rare tear. So now, different problems, but need solutions, need points. So go and get them. So, yeah, for me, I'm not interested in a draw. Someone win this game. For me, a draw is the most likely result, but somebody go and win the game, man. Somebody go and win the game.
You're right. Because when I actually deep it now, you're right. Both teams actually need 3 points, but
yeah,
you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to be happy with a draw.
It doesn't do nothing for you, bro.
I'm not going to be. I won't even take a draw. I want 3 points. And when I deep it now, this is our final opportunity. I feel like this for me, and I won't stop saying it. I want you to know. Obviously, on my channel, I keep it firmly objective, right? But on the Big Six, agenda's happy. I want it said, right, that if we can win, I think that is the final nail in the coffin for top 4 for you, in my opinion, because then the gap will be 12 points. Obviously, you've got a game in hand, but as inconsistent as Spurs will be, to have to chase us and then contend with Newcastle and Liverpool, etc., I think it will be a hill too steep, right? Too steep for you to climb, even though you've got the super team that has the capacity to do it. But anyway, so for me, I see this as perfect opportunity to go out there and prove your worth as a top 4 club. This season, far too many times, we have been battered from pillar to post. But whenever we've come up against a Big Six side, we lost to Liverpool at home, lost to Arsenal at home, got humiliated by Man United away, got humiliated by City away, lost to Arsenal away, or basically could have been humiliation in the end, 3-1 loss, right? Even at your ground, we drew 2-2, but let's be real, we were second best for probably like 80% of that game, right? Yeah. So now when we're up against probably the worst version of Chelsea that Spurs will have played in the last like 2 to 3 years, and it can directly correlate to top 4 chances. You need to win this game. Like, we have to win this game. I'm sorry. Now I don't even know why I mentioned a draw before. Like,
bro, a draw is the biggest. Bro, a draw. We both take the L. If it's a draw, it's an L for everyone. Fam. That's how I see it. A draw is an L for both of us. Literally, that's how I see it. For me, I saw Khaled's comment, and it's spot on. And this is why I don't expect the same win percentage for Potter that I did for Tuchel. So you see where they're saying you must. If it was Tuchel, bruv, get to top 4. 70% win percentage or 65% win percentage in charge, whatever. That's what I'm expecting because it's elite manager. I'm not expecting that with Potter, but I'm not expecting 2 wins out of 15, even in a P word. Process, project, whatever you want to call it, you can't be winning 2 out of 15. So I'm not expecting like every result to be W's and we must every single match win. No, but you can't go completely the other way as well. There's a medium here there's a gray area. It's not black or white. There's a gray area. So he's not as, as results based and, tactician, masterclass, elite coach against, top teams and figuring them out, Man City, Champions League final. It's not all that. I get it. But this game, you need to find it within yourselves to dig into whatever cabinet you got to dig into and find that type of mentality in you, because you can't go into this game and be like, if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. We're going to try, but if it doesn't happen, man, it doesn't. And we move on to the next. This is Tottenham away. You think listen, don't take it from me. Take it from the thousands of Chelsea fans that will be in that corner, the proper Chelsea. Yeah. The ones that have been going year in, year out for 20, 30 years, the ones that will be onto you. Forget what happened at Stamford Bridge against Southampton. If you lose at Tottenham, don't even think that you can come and clap them away, fans, because I've been to Tottenham away under Lampard, and them man are nutcases. Absolute nutcases. And Tottenham away with I know Conte won't be in the dugout, but Conte is still the manager and it's still Tottenham.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If we lose to Tottenham away and you want to come out, bruv, I'm sorry. Do you know what? Just try it. See what happens, isn't it? Don't take it from me. See what happens if you lose to Tottenham. If you lose to Tottenham, especially convincingly, if it's like a 3-0, Lord, God forbid if it happens. See what happens. There's gonna be hell to pay on both sides. But as I said, somebody must win. Yeah, it's true.
Sunday, and I really need it to be us. As I said, people in the comments are saying, "Oh no, Tobes, what you said about Chelsea is going to get clipped up." I don't give a heck. Yeah, that is my view on what I think may happen. But what should happen, you know it already, Matisse. You know it already. You know what should happen with this Chelsea team. But anyway, let's actually talk about the teams, yeah? Because obviously, for us, we've got big injuries, which actually will have a significant impact on how we want to play. Yeah, we're going to have no Bentancur, no Lloris, no Basuma. It's 3 big losses, 2 of which are starters, right? But we will have everyone else available. Well, no Sessegnon as well, but he's crap, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going to have everyone else available. Now, when I'm looking at the team and I'm looking at the starting lineup, I worry about the midfield, right? I worry about the midfield because every single time we play you guys, and Graham Potter's done it too. He beat us last season with Brighton doing the same thing. You just put bodies in the midfield, and restrict the ball from getting into the likes of Kane, the likes of Kulusevski, the likes of Son, and it trips Spurs up, man. So I'm really desperate to try and see if Conte, Stellini, and Mason can actually try and conjure up something that can get us the 3 points against you guys. But what are you expecting in terms of a lineup from Chelsea? Who's available? I read something about Kante being.
Kante won't be there. Pulisic. Kante's back in training. Kante won't be there though. Pulisic won't be there. As far as I'm aware, it seems like a lot of players are starting to come back in. Whether they're in contention, certain minutes they can play, I don't know. I need to watch the whole press conference back and get it all confirmed. But I can see that Zakaria is involved again, and Kova, and all these guys are coming back. We've got too many players that we can count on. Aubameyang is still available. Whether he uses him or not is another question. I want to see that what you're talking about. I think it's the box. I think Brighton played that box midfield 2 and then 2. We know Barcelona do it as well when Gavi and Pedri are fit. Arsenal did it when they came to your ground as well. They boxed it in midfield with Zinchenko and coming inside. I want to see us do the same, because you're right. When people crowd out the midfield and go over 4, it feels like as if you guys just, you kind of choke. You don't have the numbers to compete with just your 2-man midfield, and they don't have the. If you're gonna go, you need Bentancur if you're gonna have this many people in there, because he's press resistant. It scans well, and he's just on another level. I used to think that him, Basuma, and Højbjerg were kind of they're all maybe the same kind of player and same kind of level. Nah, Bentancur for me is a level above the other 2. I really do feel that. So I feel like if we go with a box midfield, and I don't know who would play at the top of that box, Felix and someone else. If Mason Mount was actually playing well, you could say him, because he would give you the intensity off the ball, press, and then on the ball he has his little swivel, his little half turn. But he's not playing well, so I don't know who he would play in that role. But he needs. I feel like that box midfield could be key, because when we get the ball out wide, to be honest, Madueke's been actually all right, to be fair. Mudrik's not been great. Cucurella is not giving us anything going forward. Maybe Chilwell will start. I'm sure he will. Reece James, they're coming back from injury, so the fullback should be there.
Going to play Reece James?
I would hope so. I think against Southampton, he rested on medical advice. Silva, James, Ziyech, quite a few players were rested. So he should be fine. He should be back and fine. Yeah, he has to play. Has to play. And then you guys, which Emerson Royale's kind of messed things up because he didn't usually give nothing going forward. So you could just leave him to do whatever he wants over there and you have nothing to worry about. Recently, he's been trying to resurrect his career.
A little thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still not gonna.
You know what though? If I'm you, because I'm looking at matchups now, and I know Kulusevski's been out of form, but I've seen so many teams get joy on your left hand side, man. Right? I saw Fulham get a lot of joy on that side. I saw West Ham get a lot of joy on that side. Cucurella, let's just call it for what it is. He's been really bad for Chelsea this season, and I think we can get some joy there. I really do, and I think depending on which blend of midfielders he plays alongside Enzo, I think we can get some joy there, man. I really do. It's all about how he shapes the team up, because I think obviously you've had your 4-2-3-1, but then against Fulham he played a 4-3-3. It's going to be interesting. But I do think similar to us, we have weaknesses as well. We obviously have the defense. We have similar to you with Cucurella. I think Perisic, since Perisic in 2023 is basically doing his best Cucurella impression. I think he's been awful, man, and I feel like he's gonna be easy pickings for whoever you play on that right hand side. If it's Madueke playing, he's gonna twist up Perisic, man. He's gonna twist up Perisic.
I hope he does play, because I agree. I think Perisic defensively is there to be got at, man. And who will start left side centre back? Will it be Davis?
Probably be Ben Davies. Yeah, I think Longley was awful the other week. So
Longley, man.
It'll be Ben Davies. Ben Davies will play. Dyer will play centre back. Romero will play right centre back, and then Emerson Royale will start.
I want us to get out Romero immediately. Get him booked immediately. That's got to be like top of the list of things to get done. Get Romero booked, because it's a London derby. I know he's going to be in there with the aggression, he's going to be feisty, fighty. Cool. I hear it. I know what type of centre back he is. You know, you've got your angry one and you've got your calm one. We had it with Rudiger. Get him booked early doors, just so he knows he's on that yellow card, and then we go from there. For me, that's pivotal. Get in his head, because I know he's playing on emotion a lot, and once we get him booked, then I think we can get even more change. And apparently, you say he's been getting booked every game. He's used to playing on a caution. Yeah, that's true. Listen, he probably is used to playing on a caution. But listen, cautions, they're not help. You don't want to be on a caution, regardless.
Yeah, 100%. You don't want to be. Then it means that you can't really commit in some challenges, man.
Yeah.
And this is a fair point as well. The weekly update says the last time Chelsea played Cucurella, he did, but he also had Koulibaly, who played out of his skin that game. I remember them two had like a good double act against.
That was early days before they were contaminated.
Exactly. So they did really do well to shut down Kulusevski. That was good. But let's see if they can maintain again. Kulu's been out of form, so I feel like he's slowly getting. We saw better Kulusevski in the second half against West Ham. So let's see what they can cook, man. But listen, I'm gonna wrap it up here, man. I don't want to do the whole back and forth combined 11 thing, man. To be honest, we know your superstar, super team, the 7 blessed squad should be doing better than it has done. But let's talk score prediction now, because I said 2-2 on the Big Six yesterday.
Yeah.
Right?
I said 0-0. That's what I actually think.
My head is telling me that I should still stick to the 2-2, man. I just know Spurs. Spurs are just so jammy. Such an infuriating team to watch. We're just not good. We've got players missing, but something's got to give, man. So fuck it. I'm just gonna go for 2-1, man. Fuck it.
I'm gonna stick with my 0-0 on the Big Six, and then here I'm gonna upgrade it to a 1-1.
Yeah.
So I'm covering both. I'm covering off both, just in case a goal goes in. Yeah.
You're doing your watch along for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's see. If the positive result for me, just don't put your.
And then Newcastle Man United is straight after. It's gonna be a great Sunday. It's gonna be mad.
You just hear what I said? I said if it's a positive result for Spurs, don't put that phone on silent and don't pretend like you ain't hearing it. Yeah?
I'm doing a double watch along, so I'll be there.
Okay, cool. Well, listen, Matisse, thanks for hopping on, man. I really appreciate it. For people who are still watching as well, let us know what your score prediction is. I've gone for a 2-1 win to Spurs.
1-1 for me. 1-1.
1-1 for Matisse. I've got one of my mates. He's a Chelsea fan. He keeps saying, "Oh yeah, like you not seeing how the team's playing. It's an easy win for Spurs." Blah blah blah. Meads from touchline saying that Chelsea relegation is a possibility. So, bro, your fans are going through it, man. But listen, big up people for watching, for tuning in. I hope you enjoy your Friday night, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. I will be back late on Sunday to do a post-match reaction because I'm going to be at the game, and then I need to do some podcasts later on. So look out for that, and make sure you subscribe to Matisse's channel if you're not subscribed already. How many subscribers are you on now, Matisse?
43K, I think.
Jesus Christ, you are actually a machine.
Yeah, we're going for it. We're going for 50.
You might be on like 70K. I reckon you'll be on 70K by the end of the year.
That's the plan. That's minimum. That's the plan. 100%. Guys, man. It's been a pleasure. Make sure.
Hardest working man on YouTube.
Make sure you subscribe. Yeah, that's what they're calling me, man. They're saying I'm the Conte of football YouTube. Listen, if the team ain't gonna produce, then I have to. Do you know what I mean? Someone's got to do something. So yeah, man, you can find me on YouTube, MAH. Been a pleasure. And it's nice dealing with Tobes before the game. I don't know about after if we lose. So
Well, we'll see. But Matisse, thanks for hopping on. People, as I said, like, share, subscribe. Let us know your score predictions. But until then, take care. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend and up the Spurs. All right, Matisse.